If you remember the brutal winter of 1978, or lived through the polar vortex of 2014, you understand what genuine Arctic cold feels like. Critical timeline details appear at 5 minutes and 20 seconds, including exact timing for peak cold conditions that will test your home's heating systems. Much of upstate New York may receive 12 to 16 inches of snow in favored areas. Western New York lake effect zones represent the highest snowfall potential over the forecast period. Weekend snow chances will continue across the Great Lakes and Northern Plains regions. Friday into Saturday will bring additional light snowfall to these areas. Late Saturday into early Sunday, very light snow may affect the Ohio Valley. Additional accumulations of 1 to 2 inches are possible in some locations. Monday and Tuesday will see high pressure building across the eastern United States. Here are the critical timeline details I promised at 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Thursday represents the transition day as Arctic air begins its southward progression. Lake effect snow will continue across Michigan and northern Ohio throughout Thursday. Understanding this weather pattern helps explain both immediate hazards and longer-term temperature trends affecting the region. The Clipper system will progress from the northern plains into the Midwest during Thursday. Thursday evening will bring snow to Chicago, with continuation into Indiana and Ohio overnight. Friday morning marks the arrival of Arctic air in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Temperatures will drop rapidly as the Arctic air mass moves through these regions. Friday afternoon and evening will see continued cold air transport into the Midwest. Saturday morning brings peak cold intensity to the upper Midwest and Great Lakes regions. Saturday afternoon and evening will extend the Arctic air mass into the Ohio Valley and Northeast. Sunday morning represents maximum cold air penetration, affecting areas as far south as Missouri. Sunday afternoon and evening will maintain the cold air mass across the eastern two-thirds of the nation. Monday will see continued cold conditions, but with gradual moderation beginning in western areas. Let's examine the atmospheric dynamics driving these conditions and their expected evolution over the next 10 days. Now, as promised at the 6-minute mark, here are specific temperature forecasts for major metropolitan areas. Minneapolis will experience the earliest and most intense cold with Friday morning lows near negative 15 degrees. Saturday and Sunday morning lows in Minneapolis may reach negative 25 to negative 30 degrees. Wind chill values in Minneapolis could approach negative 45 to negative 50 degrees during peak conditions. Chicago will see temperature drops beginning Friday evening, with Saturday morning lows near negative 10 degrees. Sunday morning in Chicago may bring actual temperatures near negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chill values in Chicago during the coldest period may reach negative 35 to negative 40 degrees. Detroit will experience cold air arrival Saturday morning, with temperatures dropping to near negative 5 degrees. Sunday morning lows in Detroit may reach negative 15 degrees, with wind chills approaching negative 30 degrees. Cleveland will see similar timing to Detroit, with Saturday morning lows near 0 degrees Fahrenheit. The jet stream configuration plays the primary role in determining winter weather patterns across North America. Sunday morning in Cleveland may bring temperatures near negative 10 degrees with dangerous wind chills. Columbus, Ohio will experience cold air arrival Saturday afternoon with evening lows near 5 degrees. Sunday morning lows in Columbus may drop to negative 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Pittsburgh will see temperature drops beginning Saturday evening with Sunday morning lows near 0 degrees. Buffalo will experience conditions similar to other Great Lakes cities with Sunday morning lows near negative 10 degrees. Syracuse and Albany will see cold air arrival Saturday night with Sunday morning lows ranging from negative 5 to negative 10 degrees. New York City represents the southern extent of the most intense cold with Sunday morning lows near 10 degrees. Philadelphia will experience similar conditions to New York with Sunday morning temperatures near 15 degrees. Washington, D.C. may avoid the worst of the cold with Sunday morning lows near 20 degrees Fahrenheit. These temperature forecasts represent departures of 25 to 50 degrees below normal for mid-December. Current analysis shows a significant southward dip in the jet stream extending across the Midwest and Northeast. Duration of extreme cold will vary by location, with northern areas experiencing longer exposure. Recovery from peak cold conditions will begin gradually Monday and Tuesday. However, temperatures will remain below normal for most areas through the middle of next week. Preparation for extreme cold conditions should begin immediately for all affected areas. Vehicle winterization becomes essential when temperatures drop below -15 degrees Fahrenheit. Battery performance decreases significantly in extreme cold, often leading to starting difficulties. Tire pressure drops approximately 2 pounds per square inch for every 10-degree temperature decrease. Emergency kit should include warm blankets, non-perishable food, water, and first aid supplies. Alternative heating sources require proper ventilation to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Space heaters should be used only with adequate clearance from combustible materials. This pattern allows cold air from northern Canada to penetrate much further south than typical for December. Home heating systems should be inspected to ensure proper operation before peak cold arrival. Programmable thermostats help maintain consistent temperatures while managing energy costs. Pipe insulation and faucet protection prevent costly freeze damage during extreme cold periods. Outdoor pets require adequate shelter and access to unfrozen water during Arctic conditions. Salt and sand supplies should be secured before demand increases with the arrival of snow and ice. Don't miss the next segment where I'll analyze longer-term pattern changes affecting Christmas week. Pattern evolution analysis helps understand weather trends extending beyond the immediate Arctic outbreak. Computer models show increasing agreement on significant pattern changes during the week of December 16th. The persistent northwesterly flow currently dominating weather patterns will likely weaken by midweek. A ridge development across the southeast may interrupt the Arctic air transport mechanism. A large, low-pressure system positioned near the Great Lakes is generating current snowfall across multiple states. This ridge pattern typically promotes warmer air advection from southern latitudes. Zonal flow patterns may replace the current meridional configuration, bringing more seasonal temperatures. Temperature moderation could begin affecting the western United States first, then progress eastward. Historical analysis shows similar pattern transitions often occur during mid to late December. The transition period may create conditions favorable for winter storm development. Temperature contrasts between retreating Arctic air and advancing warmer air can enhance storm intensity. Storm track patterns may shift southward during the pattern transition period. This could affect areas that typically avoid major winter storms during normal December patterns. Christmas week weather patterns remain uncertain due to the complexity of the pattern transition. Long-range models show varying solutions for the December 20th through 25th timeframe. This system has produced snow across Michigan and extends through the Northeast, where blizzard warnings remain in effect. Some model runs suggest continued cold with additional Arctic surges affecting the eastern United States. Alternative solutions show rapid warming with above-average temperatures developing across most regions. The most likely scenario involves gradual temperature moderation with periodic cold air incursions. Winter storm potential increases during pattern transition periods due to enhanced atmospheric dynamics. Travel planning for Christmas week should consider multiple weather scenarios given forecast uncertainty. Airport operations may face challenges from both extreme cold conditions and potential winter storms. Holiday shipping and delivery services require contingency planning for weather-related delays. Energy demand patterns may fluctuate significantly as temperatures moderate from current extreme levels. Natural gas prices often respond to rapid temperature changes and consumption pattern shifts. Regional variations in pattern change timing may create different weather experiences across the country. The Appalachian Mountains face blizzard conditions, while winter weather advisories extend from Ohio through Maine. Western states may experience warming several days before similar changes affect eastern regions. Great Lakes ice formation accelerates during extreme cold periods, affecting lake effect snow production. Increased ice coverage typically reduces lake effect snow intensity later in the winter season. Current extreme cold will promote rapid ice development across smaller lakes and bays. Snow cover establishment during this cold period will influence subsequent weather pattern evolution. Extensive snow cover tends to support continued cold air mass development and persistence. Ground temperature cooling during extreme cold events affects atmospheric boundary layer stability. These feedback mechanisms can either support pattern persistence or enhance transition speed. Soil temperature monitoring provides important data for understanding pattern evolution potential. Agricultural implications extend beyond immediate livestock protection to include crop storage considerations. As we progress through Thursday and Friday, the jet stream pattern will intensify significantly. Grain storage facilities require monitoring to prevent freeze damage during extreme cold periods. Transportation infrastructure faces stress from extreme temperature cycling and winter precipitation. Bridge and roadway surfaces become particularly hazardous during rapid temperature changes. Construction projects may face delays due to equipment performance limitations in extreme cold. Concrete and asphalt work becomes impractical when temperatures drop below specific thresholds. Public health agencies prepare for increased emergency room visits related to cold exposure injuries. Emergency shelter systems activate additional capacity during extreme cold weather events. Homeless outreach programs increase activity to ensure vulnerable populations receive assistance. School districts evaluate closure policies when wind chill values reach dangerous thresholds. Transportation delays may affect school schedules even when buildings remain open. This weekend, millions of Americans will experience the coldest temperatures in nearly a decade, with wind chills approaching levels not seen since those memorable winters. Upper-level winds will strengthen from the northwest, creating an enhanced pathway for Arctic air transport. Business continuity planning becomes important for organizations in affected regions. Remote work capabilities help maintain operations when travel becomes hazardous. Supply chain disruptions may occur due to transportation difficulties and equipment failures. Retail operations may experience changes in customer patterns during extreme weather periods. Food service delivery may face limitations due to vehicle performance and driver safety concerns. Communication infrastructure requires backup power and cold weather protection systems. Internet and cellular service may experience disruptions during extended extreme cold periods. Power grid management becomes critical as heating demand reaches seasonal peak levels. Electrical generation capacity must accommodate both increased demand and equipment cold weather limitations. Wind turbine operations may be curtailed due to icing and extreme temperature conditions. This atmospheric configuration will direct substantial cold air from Canada into the northern plains Thursday and Friday. Natural gas pipeline pressure monitoring increases during high demand periods. Propane and heating oil supplies require adequate inventory management during extreme cold events. Water treatment facility operations face challenges from extreme cold affecting equipment performance. Municipal water systems implement freeze prevention protocols during Arctic outbreaks. Waste management services may experience delays due to equipment and personnel safety considerations. Emergency services prepare additional resources for weather-related incidents and service calls. Fire departments face challenges from frozen hydrants and equipment performance in extreme cold. Law enforcement agencies prepare for increased accident responses and stranded motorist assistance. Medical emergency services require cold weather protocols for patient transport and equipment operation. Weather monitoring continues through specialized automated stations, providing real-time temperature data. The Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin will experience the initial impacts of this Arctic intrusion by Friday. Forecast verification helps meteorologists assess model accuracy during extreme weather events. Climate records maintenance documents significant weather events for historical analysis. Research institutions study Arctic outbreaks to improve understanding of extreme weather patterns. International Weather Data Exchange enhances forecast accuracy for cross-border weather systems. Satellite monitoring provides essential data for tracking Arctic air mass movement and intensity. Upper air observations help forecasters understand atmospheric dynamics driving the extreme cold pattern. Computer model improvements continue advancing accuracy for extreme weather event prediction. Machine learning applications enhance pattern recognition for similar extreme cold events. Climate change research examines how Arctic warming may influence future extreme cold outbreaks. Polar vortex studies help explain the mechanisms allowing Arctic air to penetrate so far south. Saturday and Sunday will see continued strong upper-level winds, promoting extensive cold air transport. Jet stream research provides insights into the atmospheric patterns controlling these extreme events. This comprehensive analysis of the current extreme cold pattern highlights both immediate hazards and longer-term considerations. Temperature departures of this magnitude require serious preparation and ongoing safety awareness. Pattern evolution through mid-December suggests continued monitoring for additional weather development. Tomorrow's forecast analysis will examine any changes in timing or intensity for this Arctic outbreak. We'll also investigate emerging signals for Christmas week weather pattern development. Long-range forecast updates will provide additional details on pattern transition timing and winter storm potential. Stay informed through official weather services as this significant weather pattern continues evolving. This major winter weather pattern represents one of the most substantial cold outbreaks of recent years. Proper preparation and continued weather awareness help ensure safety during this challenging period. This cold air mass will spread across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Temperature departures from normal may reach 50 degrees below average in some locations. The jet stream pattern will maintain this cold air transport through Sunday and Monday. This persistence ensures sustained cold conditions rather than a brief temperature drop. By the middle of next week, atmospheric patterns will begin shifting toward a different configuration. A ridge pattern may develop across the southeast, potentially bringing temperature moderation. For those who recall when Lake Superior froze solid, or when your car wouldn't start despite being plugged in all night, this weather pattern brings similar challenges. This pattern change could interrupt the northwesterly flow currently transporting Arctic air southward. More zonal atmospheric flow may develop, promoting neutral temperature conditions across much of the country. However, this pattern change may also increase the potential for winter storm development before Christmas. Don't miss the next segment where I'll detail specific temperature anomalies and their potential impacts. Temperature anomaly analysis provides crucial information for understanding the magnitude of this cold outbreak. Current temperature departures already show significant negative anomalies across the northern United States. Friday and Saturday will bring the most substantial temperature departures from seasonal norms. The upper Midwest will experience temperatures 30 to 40 degrees below normal for mid-December. Actual air temperatures in these areas may range from -10 to -20 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chill calculations will produce values between -20 and -40 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures may drop to levels that remind longtime residents of the harshest winters they've witnessed in 30 to 40 years of living in the Midwest. Saturday and Sunday represent the peak intensity period for this Arctic air mass. Northern Midwest regions may experience temperatures 40 to 50 degrees below seasonal averages. Actual air temperatures may drop to -15 to -30 degrees Fahrenheit in these areas. Wind chill values could reach -30 to -50 degrees Fahrenheit across the most affected regions. Southern areas, including Missouri and Illinois, will also experience significant temperature departures. These regions may see temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below normal, creating unusual conditions for their latitude. The geographic extent of this cold air mass affects transportation networks across multiple states. Interstate highways from the northern plains to the Great Lakes will face challenging conditions. Vehicle performance decreases significantly when exposed to temperatures below -20 degrees Fahrenheit. Battery efficiency, tire pressure, and fuel system performance all suffer in extreme cold conditions. This is the kind of cold that makes heating bills triple, forces school closures for days, and turns morning commutes into survival exercises. Airport operations may experience delays and cancellations due to equipment performance limitations. De-icing operations become more frequent and time-consuming during sustained extreme cold periods. Energy demand will increase substantially as heating systems work to maintain comfortable indoor temperatures. Natural gas consumption typically surges 30 to 50% during Arctic outbreaks of this magnitude. Electrical heating systems face peak demand scenarios that may stress regional power grids. Utility companies prepare emergency protocols for extreme cold weather to maintain service reliability. Historical analysis shows cold outbreaks of this intensity occur approximately every 3 to 5 years. The 2014 polar vortex event provides a comparable example of widespread extreme cold affecting similar regions. January 2019 also produced similar temperature departures across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes. Current computer models show high confidence in the temperature forecast through the weekend. Following multiple snow systems, an Arctic air mass will deliver wind chills of negative 50 degrees and actual temperatures of negative 30 degrees. Model agreement increases confidence in the timing and intensity of peak cold conditions. Health considerations become important during extended periods of extreme cold weather. Frostbite can occur within 10 to 15 minutes when wind chills reach negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Hypothermia risk increases significantly for individuals exposed to these temperature conditions. Emergency shelters typically experience increased demand during extreme cold weather events. Vulnerable populations, including the elderly and homeless, face heightened risk during Arctic outbreaks. Carbon monoxide poisoning incidents often increase due to improper use of heating devices. Building infrastructure faces stress from extreme temperature differentials and frozen pipes. Water supply systems require monitoring to prevent freeze-related service disruptions. Agricultural operations need emergency preparations to protect livestock from dangerous cold exposure. These are the conditions that older residents remember, requiring multiple layers just to retrieve the morning newspaper from the driveway. Dairy operations typically experience production decreases during extreme cold weather periods. Next, I'll examine the specific snowfall patterns accompanying these temperature changes. Lake effect snow represents one of the most challenging winter weather phenomena for forecasters. Current conditions favor continued lake effect snow development downwind of the Great Lakes. Thursday will see persistent lake effect snow bands across Michigan and northern Ohio. The most intense snow bands will focus on northwestern Michigan during Thursday afternoon. These bands typically remain narrow, affecting very specific geographic corridors. Western New York will experience several aligned areas producing significant lake effect snow. Snowfall rates within these bands may reach 2 to 4 inches per hour during peak intensity. Visibility can drop to near zero within minutes when entering active snow bands. This represents the most significant cold outbreak since many of you first experienced homeownership, raising energy bills and protecting aging parents during extreme weather. Extreme southwestern New York and northern Michigan represent the highest impact zones. Current forecasts suggest this lake effect activity will be less widespread than initially predicted. However, affected areas still face significant accumulations and transportation hazards. A Clipper weather system will move across the northern plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley Thursday. This system may produce additional freezing rain across portions of South Dakota. Snow from this system will affect Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois. Late Thursday into early Friday, snow will spread across central and northern Illinois. Chicago will experience snowfall during the Thursday night to Friday morning time frame. The system will continue affecting Indiana and Ohio as it moves eastward. By late Thursday night into Friday morning, snow will begin diminishing as it approaches the Appalachians. At the 6-minute mark, I'll provide specific temperature forecast and timing for each affected metropolitan area where you and your families live. Maryland and the Washington, D.C. area may receive light snowfall Friday morning. Additional snow bands may develop across the northern plains Friday night into Saturday. These bands could bring more snow to portions of the Ohio Valley region. Snowfall accumulations from Thursday's system will range from 1 to 3 inches across most affected areas. Minneapolis, Chicago, and areas north of Springfield, Illinois, fall within this accumulation range. Southern Ohio near Cincinnati and Fort Wayne, Indiana, may receive 1 to 2 inches of snow. Lake effect snow areas face potentially significant accumulations over the next 48 hours. Extreme southwestern New York may accumulate 6 to 12 inches from lake effect snow. Northwestern Pennsylvania and areas near Watertown, New York, face similar accumulation potential. Northern New England will experience widespread 4 to 8 inches of snow from the current system.